Yes, good morning, students. Today we have to start our subject web programming and with unit number one. Unit number one contains basically the introduction portion. In that we have to learn that why this web programming subject is required and which are the topics that is we can say as a base of the web programming. So that fundamentals we have to learn in these subjects. So now let me share the screen with you and we can start with the unit number one. Okay, so as we have seen in the subject introduction, your name of the subject is web programming with the subject code is 3160713. The same you will see in your GTU syllabus also. So in this unit, we have to see the following topics. So just see the outline. In the outline, there are four topics we have to cover. The first one is basics of www. Then the second one is HTTP protocol. The third one is client server architecture, and the fourth one is introduction to web server installation and configuration. So these four topics we have to see in the unit number one. Basically, we know that what is www everyone is using nowadays, and that is nothing but the web services. The full form is World Wide Web, right? World Wide Web. This is the full form of this www, and this is the we can say it's a basic thing for any web programming. Now, how the web programming, whenever you are searching for any particular website, then how the mechanism is occurring, that we have to learn in this particular unit. So in this thing we have to see that why this client server architecture, how it's working based on this client server architecture, right? So this whenever you are posting a request fine for any particular website, then how this will work as a client server architecture, and the web server installation. Different types of web servers are available, which will give the response of that particular website. So everything step by step we have to see in this unit number one, that whenever you are putting any request for a particular website, then how means you are putting through the browser, you are writing in your web browser, that suppose www.google.com, right? So from that how it's getting responded, that we have to learn. So this is the figure which I have posted over here. Here you can see that different web programming languages symbols are available. Okay, different web programming languages symbol are there, like PHP, HTML, Python, CSS3, Java, HTML5. This is the latest version. JavaScript, Ruby, CSS3, C Sharp, .NET, Edio.NET, then C Sharp.NET. So many programming languages are there, which is helpful to create a particular web page. Okay, so these are the symbols which I have kept over here, and this is the thing that we have to study. So now let's start with the first one, that is the introduction to www. So basically we know that www is nothing but the world wide web, as I told you, and the detailed information of www we will see in the upcoming PPTs. So this is the introduction of www. So what is that? Affectionately called the web. We know that it's related with the web processes. It is a collection of information stored on the network computer over the world. So whenever your computer is connected with the network, at that time you can only access the web servers, right, or web pages. So internet is a key point or key requirement, we can say. So in that, with the help of that internet, you can access any of the web pages in the world through the web browser. Okay, you can access any of the web pages, or you can say website, through with the help of internet through your web browser. So a lot of information stored in the world, and online access will be helpful with the help of this web servers. So individual document pages on the World Wide Web are called web pages and are accessed with a software application running on the user's computer, commonly called a web browser. As I told you that you have to use a web browser to access any particular web page, and this is the full form World Wide Web. This is the full form of www. So basically, the user's choice is any software application running on the user's computer, that is nothing but a web browser, and you are using so many web browsers, like Mozilla is there, Google Chrome is there, Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, then Internet Explorer, now Microsoft Edge is there, Safari is there. So many web browsers are available that you can use to access that web pages with the help of internet. Now, web pages may contain text, images, videos, and other multimedia components, as well as web navigation features consisting of hyperlinks. So what basically web pages are containing that you want to access. So whenever we are accessing any website, so you know that there is a combination of lot of things are available. Suppose we can take the example of YouTube. So YouTube will contain the text which will provide the information about the video, and the videos will be available. Similarly, some web pages contain the images also. Other multimedia components means MP3 means music songs are available in MP3 format or in different formats, right? As well as web navigation features are also available with the help of hyperlinks. Some in some web pages, some advertisements are coming, and if you will click on that advertisement, then it will redirect you to some another web page. So that is nothing but the with the help of hyperlink it is possible. Basically, WWW was proposed in 1991 by the Tim Berners-Lee at CERN. This is the we can say nuclear organization of a Europe country. CERN. This is the one of the nuclear organization of the Europe country, and these scientists were working over there, and they have introduced this concept of WWW in 1991. And this is the figure which is related to World Wide Web. So I have put over here. Now we will see what is web or internet. Basically, what is web or internet? So web or internet both are not the same things. Okay, the internet is a collection of computers or networking devices connected together. Devices can communicate with each other. So what is the main purpose of internet? Internet is basically providing a networking, we can say concept of networking, and with the help of that networking concepting, each and other devices are connected with each other. Means suppose you are uh, going to provide, or uh, you are providing a message to another system, right? So directly it will not transfer. You require some media, or you require some medium to transfer one message from one particular location to another location at some device. So for that internet is required, and that we know, and these are the basic things, right? So devices can communicate with each other. So over here internet we can define as a collection of computers or networking devices connected together, right? And now what is web? So web is a collection of documents that are interconnected by the hyperlinks. These documents are accessed by web browsers and provided by the web servers. Okay. So basically web is a collection of documents, means web pages contain so many things. Hyperlinks are there, and based on the hyperlink you are going to be redirected for a particular web page, and this web page will contain through the web browser you have to access that web pages, and these web pages are containing so many documents or text or media, so many other files they will contain, which is available on the web server. So web particular, the main important key portion in the web is a web server which will store all this information. If server is going to be failed, then you cannot access that particular web page. And so many times you have analyzed the same. If you want to access particular website, so the message is coming that server is down, right? Now, which are the different web terminologies? Okay, some definition, or we can say some keywords that you are using in your day-to-day life. These are, we can say as a web terminologies, right? So in web terminologies, some of the terminology, or we can say some of the keywords we can see. First thing is coming client. So any computer on the network that requests service for another computer on the network. So client and server. So basically client is what, which can put a request to send a message to another computer, right? So one system can put a request or for through the internet to send his message to another system on the network, right? While what is server? Any computer that receive request from the client computer, process and sends the output. So over here we can consider client server mechanism in computer network is a different thing. While if we will consider in a web server, then it's also a different thing. Working methodology is same, but the application based usage is different. In a computer network, you know that in computer network all the computers are connected with each other through the network, right? So if you want to transfer one file from one PC to another PC, then it's a possible, right? With the help of sharing file mechanism, you can share it. So here the data or the message is exchanging between the two computers. While in the case of web programming, what will happen whenever you are writing www.google.com? So this is a client request. You want to access the web page of Google. So this particular request is going in a web server, and web server will find the IP address of that particular website. It will search in its own database, and it will return Means whenever you are writing www.google.com and within a fraction of seconds that web page is available on your screen, but that within a fraction of seconds these many processes are occurring. Your request is going to web server is accepting your request, it will find the IP address of your particular web page, and then it will return you that particular web page if it is available. Sometimes some web servers are down, so it will give you the message that this particular web page's information is not available with me, means the web server is denying, and you know that the main message which is coming, that is the 404 file not found. Okay, over here we have to see that web page is not available. Now the third one is web page. Any page that is hosted on the internet. Okay, we are hosting, so many websites are available. So they are hosting their websites on this particular internet, that is known as a web page. Website, collection of interlinked web pages that is hosted on the internet. Web development, the process of creating or modifying the web pages, this is known as the web development. And web browser, a program that receives information from the web, as per example Internet Explorer, Chrome, Mozilla, etc. So these are the basic terminologies or keywords, right? How does the web work? Basically, what is the mechanism which I told you right now? So the web information is stored in the web pages in HTML format, because this is one example we are taking. Okay, web information is stored in the web pages in HTML format, and the web pages are stored in the computers called as a web servers in the server file system, right? So over here you can see that this is suppose a web server. Okay, another figure I'm going to show you in the upcoming slide. So this is the basic working methodology, that web information stored in the web pages in HTML format, and web pages are stored in the computers called web servers in the server file system. The computer reading the pages is called web client with specific web browser, and the web server waits for the request from the web clients over the internet. So these are the four steps. This is a client computer where you are writing www.google.com. So this request is sent to the web server. Okay, and web server will store these particular websites. So whenever you will send the request, it will accept the request. It will find that particular website in its server, and it will give the response. So these are the four stages. First of all, client has to put a request, right? Server will accept the request, server will read the request, and return the output as a response to the client. And but obviously whatever request you are sending, that is you are using through the web browsers. Okay, so this is the how web, particular web is working, or mechanism of web. Now, what is the history of web? History of internet, first of all, we will see. So, in that, the internet grew out many developments in the computer networking and telecommunication research. So, basically, it was introduced, early projects undertaken in early 1960s by the US military, known as DARPANET. So, started with a dozen of networked computer systems of university and institutions, allowing computers to be shared. So, basically, it was introduced in 1960 with by the US military, and it was given named as a DARPANET, where the number of systems of universities and institutions were connected together in a network system, allowing fast communication between researchers through the emails. Then the email was introduced to for the communication purpose. Only people in the government, military, and academic had access to this particular network, which was introduced in 1960. Then in 1991, the National Science Foundation gradually started backing off from its subsidiary of the backbone network, and then allowed the commercial access to the internet. So whenever it was introduced earlier, at that time only it was allowed to the government, military, and academic persons, right? And after that, in 1991, it was openly available, or we can say for the commercial purpose as a internet. And nowadays, you know that the we can say it's available to the different vendors. We can say uh, so many IP address ranges are available, different vendors are available, which will give you the allow the access of the internet if you want to purchase in the market, right? So everything will be covered after this thing. Now we can see the history of World Wide Web, that is the history of www. So www allows computer users to locate and display multimedia based document. Okay, basically it allows computer users to locate and display multimedia based document, and it was introduced first of all in 1990 by this Tim Berners and Lee of this Geneva. Okay, where the nuclear organization is available of the Europe in this particular industry. Fine. So the portable browser is released in 1992. Then 1993 produces web server software with the basic protection mechanism. Okay, and it was started working, and in 1995 the Java. Okay, it was introduced by the scientist, right? It is the scientist of the Sun Microsystems. So this is nothing but the history of World Wide Web. Now, what is the protocol? Whenever you are introduce something, then the protocols we can say as a rules. Fine, this is the most important thing because of the governing the web. So protocols are nothing but these are the set of conventions governing the processing and especially the data in electronic communication system. Right. So protocol is nothing but we can say it's a rules, or we can say some set of instructions, right, that a particular means particular product or process has to follow. Over here we will discuss regarding the process because it's we are dealing with the web processing. So different protocol governing the web. Now regarding the web, which are the different protocols are there? So first one is HTTP, which is the most important and it's a key role uh, over here in the web processes. So the name of the protocol is HTTP, full form is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So this protocol is basically used to access the data on the www. This is the World Wide Web. So protocol is used to access the data over here. Uses one TCP connection on the port 80. This you have to remember. HTTP protocol is using the TCP connection that you have learned in a computer network, TCP and UDP connection, which is coming on the network layer, right? So there's this TCP connection which is used on a well-known port 80. Two types of HTTP messages this protocol is using: request and response, as we have seen in the previous figure. Right? Whenever you are putting a request to a web server and web server is giving response, so that particular role will be played with the help of this HTTP protocol. Used to transport HTML pages from web server to the web server, transfer data in the form of plain text, hypertext, audio, video, and so on. So this is the introduction about the HTTP protocol. This is the key protocol in the web processes. Another protocol also we have to see, but before that, just see this figure. This is the user. Through the browser it has to put a request to the web server. So any user, this is the step number one, any user can put a request, okay, to the web server. In the step number two, user can put the request as a step number two to the web server, okay, through the web browser. So in the step number two, through the browser, user can put the request to the web server. In the step number three, HTTP protocol plays its role, and it will send a request to the web server. Okay, web server will search the document, and this is the step number four. And if it's available, then it will send the response. If not available, then it also send the response. And this is the send of the response. This is the mechanism number five. And if it is available, then display the web page. This is the step number six. Okay, so these are the six steps. These are the basic six steps how the HTTP protocol is working, or we can say it's a basic process of web processes. Like user sends a request through the web browser, uh, and send request will be available through the web server using the HTTP protocol of the user side. It will search the document, it will give the response, and it will display the result. Okay. Another protocols are TCP/IP. It is known as a transmission control protocol and internet protocol. TCP/IP. It is a set of protocols developed to allow cooperating computers to share resources across a network. Basically, these protocols are used to provide the uh, cooperating the computers, means it is used to share the resources between a system which is available in a network. They provide a few basic services that everyone needs, like file transfer, email, remote login, access across a very large number of client server systems. So basically the role of this TCP/IP protocol, UDP, user datagram protocol, unreliable connection less protocol, used to control the management of application level service between the computer. Basically it is used for transport by some applications which must provide then own reliability. So everything these protocols you learn in the network. File transfer protocol, FTP, which is known as it allows the file transfer between two computers, right? Text, software, image, sound, that you can transfer. Right now in a WhatsApp you can easily transfer the files in any format. SMTP, which was introduced for the mail purpose, right? You can send the mail through the internet between the systems. Okay. POP3, this is the post office protocol version 3. Also it was used for the Gmail, right, or the mail purpose. It was used in a, so SMTP and POP3 both are used in a mailing purpose. Whenever you want to send a mail, so SMTP protocol will be used, and if you will get the response, then for the response it is used by the POP3, and it is the transport layer protocol. Similarly, IMAP4, Internet Mail Access Protocol version 4. So this protocol is used by the clients to access the internet mail server to get the mail, and it is not a transport layer protocol. Similarly, Telnet. So Telnet basically used by the TCP protocol remotely open a session on another computer. DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So it is a method of assigning and controlling the IP address of computers on a given network. So basically it will assign the IP address on computers in a particular given network. Server based service that automatically assign IP number when a computer boots. So sometimes you are selecting connect automatically in the IP address. So at that time DHCP will work. Otherwise you have to give the manually IP address, right? So this is regarding the protocols. So today we are concluding our sessions. In the next lecture we will start with the detail about the HTTP protocol. So as I told you in the outline, first of all we have to see what is the basics of www, and then we have to see the HTTP protocol. So today we have covered in the first lecture the introduction of and basics of www. Okay, internet web terminologies, how the web process is working, history of web, internet, fine. Then which are the different protocol, what is the first of all protocol, and which are the different protocols that are using for the web. HTTP was there, TCP/IP, UDP, FTP, SMTP, POP3, IMAP4, Telnet, and DHCP, right? So these things we are covering today as an introduction portion. In the next lecture we will start with the particular HTTP protocol and how it is useful in the web processes, right? So thank you everyone, see you in the next lecture. Goodbye.